How big is your bubble? Now, don't pretend you don't live in a bubble. We all do. Has anybody tried to burst your bubble lately? Ever? How many punctures has your bubble had? What did you use to repair it? Did you repair it? Is your bubble uneven like a partially deflated beach ball? Someone tried to deflate my bubble the other day. Puncture it. Didn't work. It's a dark story, befitting the middle gray nature of this time of year. Winter is bleak, and some people just want to make it bleaker. Chris here. Welcome back to photography. A little bit pensive today. Someone tried to burst my bubble, my early winter photographic bubble. This is, if you tuned in last week, my mouse respite motel. This is where I transfer the live trap mouse from my house back into a second chance at life. It's an interesting structure. It's about 100 years old, cedar clad with shingles and traditional horizontal board siding. It's seen better days, but it's still there enduring. These group of trees here huddled around it, a leaning tree acting like a lever and a fulcrum, have a landscape quality that I seek. And 2 days ago, serendipity showed its lovely face upon me. I turned this corner at sunset in the mid-gray, which is the dominant, basically, condition this time of year. Very hard to get anything with any light, any contrast, any depth, you know? So as soon as I turned this corner, I saw this house silhouetted with a very low setting sun, and the sun had created a starburst coming through that rear mullioned window. I'll show you the mullioned window now from a different day. And it was bursting out of the front through that window, lighting up the front of this building in a bizarre way that I have never seen before and should not in fact occur, because with the sun behind it backlit, the front of the building should have been a completely black silhouette, but it wasn't. I suspect it had something to do with the snow that was around the front at the time. Yesterday, I came back. You know, we all have a little bit of greed in us, right? I wanted more. Well, someone had other plans. Today's not going to work out, unfortunately, but this is how it goes, right? You can't get it always when you want it. You have to work at it. Work, work, work. But here's something that wasn't evident in the previous photograph. I tried to make it so. This is the only thing I've moved in here. I didn't bring it here. It was in here, but the wind keeps knocking it over. So watch this. Oh my God. Oh my God. Who did that? Oh God. That was gruesome. Ooh. Now I knew there were feral cats here, and I knew there were people feeding them. Something suspicious in there. It looks like someone shot a cat right in the head while it was eating. That kind of ruins my whole Santa aspect. That's what it was, a Santa Claus. I've noticed two women here in the winters dropping off food inside this manger cabin coop and the main house. I think the main house, which has busted out windows, I haven't really focused on that yet, although I did do a cherry blossom special there. So whoever did that baited that cat to within a few feet of them and then shot it as it was likely purring and eating that food. That's a monster. A monster trying to burst my bubble and trying to burst the bubble of those two old ladies doing a benevolent act for defenseless animals. There's always something that's going to try and interfere with your zeitgeist, hey, right? We all live inside these little membranes. It's just a fact of life. We're social, cultural, biological creatures. It's what drives us. The bubble can be opaque. It can be translucent. It can be a mixture of the two. Depends on the individual. That individual that tried to burst my bubble won't be successful. I'll figure out different angles to photograph this, and I'll make sure that that person, that anonymous person, sees me doing it. I love my cameras. If you've watched before, last winter for instance, you will note that I put trail cameras out to study an area, which way the light falls and how the wind is blowing, and basically how the other features are going to shape up. It gives me an idea beforehand of how I'm going to compose. I'm going to stash a trail camera in there, and I'm going to find out who that evil bleepity bleep bleep is. What I do from that point, I haven't really decided, but it could involve a call to the police. It's private property, but it's right on the road, so I'm right within the road allowance. If I stand there and look inside that building, I'll think about whether or not I enter it again, or whether or not I jump the fence. I'm a habitual fence jumper, by the way. That's the thing. Middle of the winter, everything's middle gray. Very hard to find good compositions with the right light, the right subject matter, and that fall within your personal style. And for me, that's juxtaposition, right? It could be any kind of juxtaposition, polar contraries. Here, we have a leaning Eastern Negundo Manitoba maple. They're known to fall apart once they get about 30 feet tall. And it's probably cloned cousins, all clustered around the building. The building is slightly askew on its foundation, if it even has one. And these clustered trees and that tree look like a lever in a fulcrum, trying to force that building back out of the ground. And for me, that's a classic landscape, especially in this area where we have the mixture of the new and the old. There's still plenty of old farms around here, but they are inevitably falling. Close to dew point. Perfect time to practice your winter minimalism. Shape, form, and texture. Often with no clearly discernible subject, but often with one. That's what I was in the mood for this week. Well, this is why we do it.